Welcome everyone. This is my wrestling show here on Rob Monty Productions. I'm Rob Monty, and today we're going to talk about today's news in wrestling. Unfortunately, to start off, we have some sad news. WWE Hall of Famer Howard Finkel has unfortunately passed on at the age of 69. They don't know exactly the full details of what caused his death, but from what a lot of people have said, for the last 2 years since his surgery in 2008, he's, or not surgery, stroke. I remember reading stroke. Basically, he had a stroke a couple of years back, and he hasn't been doing well in health since. Now, this is really a big loss to the wrestling world. I truly believe so, because when I look at Howard Finkel in general, I look back to my childhood watching the golden era of professional wrestling, to the new generation, to the Attitude Era. I mean, Howard Finkel is a classic when we talk about wrestling, especially with ring announcers. When we talk about ring announcers, there is no one more legendary right now as far as calling guys to the ring as Howard Finkel is. I'm pretty sure there's guys from previous eras who probably would say that, but would not say that because they know their guys. But when I look at Howard Finkel, he's the man. I mean, I can't picture a WrestleMania where I haven't heard Howard Finkel's voice that wasn't like a big deal, you know. Although I do understand that like a couple WrestleManias with Justin Roberts and Garcia prior, but Howard Finkel is someone that is a vintage. I mean, if you're going to have a staple of ring announcers, Howard Finkel would be your first string. That's how I would look at him. Man. And the one thing about Howard, guys, I could say, I mean, from what I've seen on WWE camera and seen what he's done in shoot interviews or even in fan interactions or even at promotionals, Howard Finkel has been nothing more for the fans than being for the fans. Basically, when I look at Howard Finkel, we're looking at somebody who is basically the voice of wrestling fans a lot, because the guy seems friendly enough to do things. I mean, I never got to meet Howard Finkel myself personally, but from what I've seen, if a fan were to call up or ask Howard Finkel, hey, would you like to be up here on our show, do some classic announcing stuff, he would be one of those guys to do it. I mean, he would be willing to do it. And why? Because he liked you guys, the fans. And he always seems friendly. I mean, and from what I think a lot of people have said, Howard's probably one of the most friendliest guys, probably the most nicest guys in the business. So, to me, just by knowing that, that is a huge loss, in my opinion. When someone is like really a good-hearted person like that, it's really sad when they go. And unfortunately, that's what we got. We lost. We lost someone. We lost one of the good ones. That's what I'm saying, as far as the wrestling business go. My favorite Howard Finkel moment. I have a couple. My golden era, new generation era favorite moment of Howard Finkel was when he and Harvey Whippleman were going to beat the crap out of each other at WrestleMania 10. And basically, Harvey Whippleman was just braiding him about his new hair. He had just gotten new hair because he had joined the Hairman, what is that, Hairman? First, the freaking Hair Club for Men. Yeah, Hair Club for Men. And they were promoting how good it worked, right? And Howard had a nice set of hair at that time. And, oh, man. It was... I really liked that moment because in that moment, you saw these two were about to pound each other. And then out of nowhere, Adam Bomb tries to beat up on Howard. And then out of nowhere, freaking Earthquake shows up, finishes off Adam Bomb like in about, was it like 16 seconds? Anyway, it was one of the fastest matches in WrestleMania history, and I thought that was one of the greatest things that I've ever saw Howard Finkel in, you know. Another one of my favorite Howard Finkel moments actually happened after his announcing career, where he was on WWE Legends House. And this is one of my favorite moments because you're seeing the human side of the wrestling side. When you, I mean, of the wrestling business, you're seeing the human side through Howard Finkel. Because Howard Finkel is like every other person in the world. I mean, just living his life, trying to be positive, trying to do his best to make his life as good as he can, you know. And I think the one thing I loved about Fink's positioning in Legends House is when they were going over what was their biggest accomplishments. And Howard Finkel said, you know what, I used to get bullied a lot. I used to get picked on. And you know what? I took that chip on my shoulder and I made something out of myself. People who thought I wasn't going to be nothing, well, guess what? I am something because of his career in WWE. And to me, if you guys go watch that episode of Legends House, I mean, you really grow a feeling and you get really invested in all those legends for their own personal life. And I feel like Howard's was a very, very inspiring story, especially for someone who's been bullied. Me personally, I've been bullied in my life. I've bullied people too. I'm not going to hide that either. But to make something a good and make a positive out of the negative like he did, that, my God, man, that deserves a hell of applause. And, you know, not only does it deserve that, that's a lot of respect. So I'm going to close off on the Howard Finkel story and just say, man, we lost a good one. And my thoughts and prayers go out to the Finkel family and everyone who knew him. By the way, which leads me to talking about all these different tributes. Let me bring it up on screen for you guys. I think it would be nice to take a look at some of these things. I'm not going to go over every one of them, but you know, just to go and take a look what other people are saying. You know, I'm not going to take a look at every one of them, but letting you guys know how big a deal it was. All right, so we got my screenshot down. I'm gonna minimize myself here. Yep, there we go. Yep, I'm right here, guys. All right, so where we go? All right. Oh, WWE already put a tribute video. All right. All right, guys. After this video or whatever you're doing later on, make sure you catch that tribute video because I'm pretty sure it's going to be very emotional in itself. All right. Shoot. Hey. See right here where I'm clicking here is an outpouring of tributes of to Howard Finkel. And this is one thing, guys, I'm going to say. He really touched the wrestling community a lot. And I think a lot of fans who are my age are going to be... we're all probably feeling it in some way or another. Also, I think the one tribute I want to share the most is going to be Vince McMahon's because I feel like Vince is going to... I think I want to show it just because, you know... I felt like it was emotional. Actually, maybe I could just pull it up on my phone and read it because my computer is lagging today. Lagging! Freaking computer, man. I swear to God. Sorry, Lord. I don't mean to use your name in vain. Alright. Alright. Vince McMahon shares a tribute that's on here. Alright. Oh, okay. Here we go first, guys. Alright. This is on Vince McMahon's Twitter, but which I'm going to go over right now. It says, saddened to learn... Oh, frick. It says, saddened to learn the passing of my friend and WWE's first employee, WWE Hall of Famer Howard Finkel. The grandest moments in sports entertainment history were all made, and all the grandeur thanks to Howard's iconic voice. Oh, actually, well, hey, guys, I don't even need to go to that article to show you guys. So they already posted it up here. Of course, I think the first one I saw today was Edge's tribute. You know, I have one from Triple H, Lillian Garcia and Bruce Pritchard. Bischoff has one. Oh, what's the read Hogan says? Howard Finkel was on Team Hogan. Shit. I tell you guys my computer's lagging. Alright. Howard Finkel was on Team Hogan through the good and bad times. Even when I was on the outs, Howard would call on a consistent basis to tell me to always keep my head up. It was never say never. You and Vince will work it out, my good friend. Rest in peace. I love you, for life, Hulk Hogan. All right, and then here's another one. I think we'll do one from AEW, which will be Chris Jericho's. Thanks, Howard, for being the best ring announcer in the history. A great employee for the WWE, a good guy and loyal lackey. Hopefully, you'll announce my entrance into the great unknown when I join you sometime. Alright. That's some of them right there. Oh, oh, man. Lawler put one up. You can see the outpour right now. Even Charles Robinson, guys. Shoot. How are we doing this so far? Am I having issues with my screen? Yeah, I'm having issues with my screen. Alright, guys. So, that's some of the tributes that have been posted up by a lot of the guys in the wrestling universe. Or in the WWE world, you know? So, if you guys want, I'm not, like I said, I wasn't going to read all of them. I was just going to read certain ones. So, if you want to check all these out, these are very, very these are very heartwarming messages if you guys want to check these out, you know. Alright. So, while my screen loads up, let's talk about other news in wrestling today. Alright. My goodness. My phone is starting to act up now. What the hell? Technical difficulties, guys. Alright. Alright. Okay. Let's look at this one that's coming up. It's a package sent to furloughed WWE employees and possible end date. Ah, you fricker. As you all may know, WWE has gone through one of its massive cuts in many years. That's true. This is probably the biggest cuts. By the way, guys, I'm gonna save this for this story I have for the end of this video because I find it very hilarious. Very hilarious because I actually talked to somebody on this website because of this. Oh, alright. So, it reads, as many as you know, it's the largest. We're furloughed. Employees were furloughed. Received packet that was released several wrestlers yesterday. Earlier today, Wrestling Inc. reported all employees were furloughed would receive a packet. That packet stated their release date, released due to the current level of work, as a result of COVID-19. See, this is what I'm telling you, and this is happening all over the world, guys. This is not just WWE. There's actual people losing jobs at restaurants. There's people losing jobs at accountant stuff. I mean, it's crazy. That's how bad this pandemic really has become. So, and unfortunately, there's people who are pointing fingers, which shouldn't even be the case, you know. This was an unforeseen circumstance that is deemed a natural disaster of sorts for the WWE. I believe it's a natural disaster for the world, folks. But yeah, this is a natural disaster for WWE. They had to release a whole lot of people. And a lot of them are actually valuable people, too. I mean, that's some crazy shit, right? Alright, so, furlough end date is July 1st, 2020. However, the subject to change is given day by day. Circumstances the wrestling business is right now, the WWE has the right to terminate furlough period at any time of their choosing without prior warning. The company will continue to keep all employees informed of their futures. Which means, guys, there's possibly going to be more roster cuts, budget cut, employees cut from WWE. And that's a really sad thing to know. So right now, I can see a lot of guys who are on the lower card. Also, I could see a lot of guys who aren't being used. Their future is in question right now. I think the only one that's not in question, in my opinion, as far as all those guys go, would be Roman Reigns. My main reasoning for Roman is because he has an actual legitimate reason to why he's not at the Performance Center week by week. He has a legitimate good excuse. And the only way I will see him getting fired if they had to make a major cut. And I don't think that's the case. And I don't think Vince is going to lose his cash cow right away, you know. Especially knowing the circumstances of his health too, you know. These WWE superstars will not be receiving a paycheck, but will be eligible for health care, health insurance, and unemployment benefits by the CARES Act. All former WWE talent will receive up to $600 per week for unemployment insurance. This packet may not apply to all employees. Which was the most shocking to you? Let us know in the comments below. Okay. So, the good news is, unemployment thing they're going to have, a lot of us are going to go through unemployment once in our life. And, you collect money while you're looking for your next job for a certain amount of time, Like, I believe from my last job when I collected on my unemployment, I had like about 4 or 5 months of unemployment where I was getting paid $200. Not $200, $100. I didn't work there long. I don't know if it's because I didn't work that long enough, or maybe that was just the minimum, I guess, of what you can get. I don't know. But for these guys, they're going to get $600 for a certain amount of time. And it's per week. $600 per week. You want my honest opinion? $600 per week? That's actually pretty fucking good for all these guys. They're going to get $600 from the company for their unemployment for that certain amount of time. That's pretty good. You can make enough money to at least get you to buy essentials, pay some bills, and whatnot, That's not a bad package on that part. But what I really, really like is that even though these superstars will not be receiving a paycheck and they're getting that unemployment instead, they are eligible for health care, health insurance, and unemployment benefits. So, if I was any of those guys right now, I would definitely be investing in that health insurance and health care, because to me, that's something that's probably going to be needed in this current world. And quite honestly, I think they should take it up. I mean, you rather be insured, and you also want to have health care.
I'll see you guys tomorrow.
See you tomorrow. See ya. So, yeah.
I know. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was. Okay, so for the CARES Act, for the benefits, I mean, those are actually good benefits, guys. I mean, you get health care and health insurance, and then a $600 per unemployment check per week. That's pretty freaking good, in my opinion, for these guys. All right. Enough about the budget cuts. All we know is that there are going to be more releases later. For those of you who like to watch the bump, I don't necessarily like to, but Triple H will be on the bump this week. And as far as this, there's also a video I think people should check out, because I checked it out earlier. It was quite funny. It was Ronda Rousey playing Mortal Kombat 11.
Bye.
See ya. So, with Mortal Kombat 11, she's playing Mortal Kombat 11, right? It's funny. I don't want to spoil nothing, so you guys go check it out. But if we know anything about Mortal Kombat 11 and Ronda Rousey, she makes one bad mama mia milf in as Sonya Blade, but that's my honest opinion. I mean, I thought she was kind of hot. You know, Sonya Blade sounded like Ronda Rousey sounded kind of hot. You know, do I think she's the best Sonya Blade that Mortal Kombat has ever done? No, but she's hot. In this, I'm not gonna lie. And for my Mortal Kombat fans out there, I know you all miss Melina. Get over it. Ed Boon said, I ain't bringing her back. Anyway, that's Mortal Kombat related news. Alright. What's next? Oh, and a backstage report of Phantasma, not originally planned to be a masked wrestler. Wow. Okay. Let's read that article. Well, I'm not reading the article, guys. I'm just going to give you guys some input. Alright. I think the next one we're going to go over, though, is this kayfabe tweet from Lana. But I want to talk about Phantasma. And then we're going to also take a look at the numbers of AEW and NXT. But that will be something else. So, it says here that Phantasma appeared in a promo on NXT. It's saying that he'll be facing Jack Gallagher next week. And according, Phantasma was not originally planned to be a masked wrestler. Because though he speaks perfect English, he did his promo in Spanish, right? Mm-hmm. So basically what they're saying is Phantasma was not supposed to be a masked luchador. But they went with it anyway. You want my honest opinion? I don't think that makes, to me, I feel like that's irrelevant news. The only thing that was relevant in that is, oh, Phantasma speaks perfect English, but he spoke his promo in Spanish. That's how you know it's not relevant. Basically, what I'm going to go with on that is Phantasma, if he speaks perfect English, let it be. I don't think the mask will hurt him at all. He speaks perfect Spanish, it won't hurt him at all. In my opinion, masked luchadors, if you are a good freaking luchador and you are symbolized by your mask and you could do good facials or you have some kind of good thing going, I think having a mask helps you. I mean, it develops you as different from everybody else as a character. I mean, that's how Rey Mysterio got away with it for all those years, because he could actually do his facial expressions. But as far as the thing is, when you have a mask, it makes a superstar unique, in my opinion. Especially when it's a luchador mask, because it's a different one. Alright. So now they have the AEW versus NXT viewership numbers for this yesterday. So, here we go. Drum roll, please. NXT did a 692,000 viewer this week on USA. That is down from last week's show. About 1,000. Damn. They drew a 0.17 rating in the 18 to 49 demographic, which is down from the previous 1.9. AEW, however, pulled in a 683,000 viewers, which is down from last week's show that did the 692,000 they drew. So, and here's the thing, folks. When I look at that viewer audience-ship going on both shows, I say in numbers of viewers, WWE NXT beat AEW TNT. But the rating says different, apparently. So they drew a rating of 2.5, which is down from last week, which was a 0.26. Of course, EWN, who's keeping track of this freaking Wednesday Night Wars, has all the different drawership of viewers of every week. But that tells you something right there. I mean, it's pretty freaking even, in my opinion. You have an even amount of NXT fans and an even amount of AEW fans. EWN's article here on Lana posting up on YouTube, reacting to, I'm not posting on YouTube, posting on Twitter, guys, about her reaction to Rusev being released yesterday. And this is what she says. I hate to be the person in these trying times, but let this be a reminder of who Rusev Bull really is. Thank you, Rusev. Next. Thank you, next. This is she broke kayfabe to say thank you to her husband, basically. To me, that's beautiful. No. For those of you who don't know, Lana and Rusev are technically married. I know the internet wrestling fans, the guys who are always on the dirt sheets, are trying to keep up, know this already. But for the fans who don't know, and you're thinking that Bobby Lashley's actually Lana's husband right now, that's only storyline. Rusev and Lana are married, and I applaud her for being a class act and giving Rusev his due, you know. And I just hope, like Lana said, next, meaning whatever Rusev does next, hopefully it's for the best, and we should thank him for what he's done already. And in my opinion, yeah. So basically, Lana's hoping for the best, is wishing the best for Rusev in his next endeavor. Okay. All right, so that'll be all for today's episode, guys, of Wrestling News. Current events in wrestling. Also, actually, I promised you guys some other stuff too. All right, guys. So on another note, we're gonna go over AEW's results of last night, as far as their for NXT and AEW. As you all know, Finn Balor returned last night with against Eichner and did a great number in a match there, and then also got into a good promo with Velveteen Dream. Do I see Velveteen and Finn going at it? I'm gonna tell you guys right now, I'm looking forward to that match, and I'm hoping that, you know, Velveteen and Finn Balor have like this awesome rivalry, because I think the two of those guys should be the ones. To me, Balor and Dream should be the ones going after the title against Adam Cole right now. And as for AEW, Lance Archer has gone on. See, guys, I need to watch both shows fully, because if I'm flipping channels like I did, that's kind of makes it harder for me to report the results. So after I saw those matches, I saw Lance Archer versus Colt Cabana. If you guys want to know who I was hoping for that would win that match, it was in fact Lance Archer, because I think Colt Cabana's annoying as fuck. And I don't blame Kenny Omega on being the Elite, chasing after his ass to kick his ass off the show, you know? Alright. And then, let's see, what else happened on NXT that I'm probably forgetting. Alright.
Do you have a printer now?
A what?
A printer?
Upstairs.
Is it on?
Yeah, it's on.
Are you in your room?
No, in the landing.
Oh, over here.
Yeah, yeah.
What's the name? HP?
Epson.
Okay.
Alright, so Oh, it's all these interruptions. So, for the NXT results that I kind of liked, that Matt Riddle and Timothy Thatcher defend the tag titles last night. Quite honestly, I was hoping for the Broserweights. I didn't expect Timothy Thatcher. I understand Pete Dunne couldn't make it. Honestly, when I look at that match, I thought it was so-so for it. I think that's probably why they drew the lesser rating, in my opinion. I don't know. I don't necessarily like Matt Riddle, in my opinion. That's just my honest opinion. I don't like Matt Riddle. And then, of course, I tuned in on AEW for the one last match, and that was Jake Hager versus Jon Moxley. And honestly, I knew Moxley was going to win from the get-go. I mean, Moxley's title reign's still young. Was a great match. I enjoyed it. I think there's some stuff that needs to be fixed, but I'm not going to go over that. But I would say that would have been for my rating scale. So that would be 3 stars, normal match. Diamond, no diamond. And impressive moments, I would say 4. So 3 plus 4, I give it a 7 out of 10. Mainly because I've seen a better Moxley match. You know, I've seen a better Moxley match in New Japan, guys. That's just my honest opinion. His match with Lance Archer was better than his match with Hager, you know? That's my honest opinion. And as far as Hager, or Swagger as we all know him, my favorite match with Swagger is that one with that Money in the Bank ladder match. That's where I think he had his highest moment. I mean, it just replays in my mind of that match at WrestleMania 26 when Hager is just taking forever to get the damn freaking briefcase down. But hey, he cashed it in on the right person, the right time, and gets knocked out for his trouble. That's how I look at it. So that's why I'm rating this a 7, because I've seen better matches of those guys in general. And then the last thing I saw when I tuned back into NXT was Tommaso Ciampa cutting a promo on Johnny Gargano and Candice LeRae, but he gets attacked by what seems to be a boot that looks like something that Scarlett Bordeaux would wear. And I think that was Killer Cross. Oh, my bad. Kyron Cross, who basically beat the crap out of Tommaso Ciampa. So I'm really looking forward to this debut for Kyron Cross, or Killer Cross. So, and I'm also looking forward to the debut of Scarlett Bordeaux. I mean, damn, guys, that's going to be awesome. Anyway, that's this week's episode. Not this week. Today's episode of Wrestling News. I'm going to try to produce some of these. I'm going to look at wrestling for future references, guys, actually. I'm going to post more of these episodes if I feel like there's a lot of newsworthy news going out there. I'm pretty sure all these other channels are going to be saying something different, but I mean, to me, it's hard to keep up, and plus I need to process some of the stuff, you know? Other than that, you guys have a good day. Hit a like, hit a subscribe, enjoy, take care. Bye.